Well, police are warning of major disruptions across the country today as they prepare for construction workers to take down tools and take to the streets. Thousands are expected to rally in major cities in response to the federal government's decision to force the embattled CFMEU's construction branch into administration. But the union can't promote the rally given it's in administration.
The rallies are expected to disrupt traffic, and the Fair Work Ombudsman has warned employees risk being docked at least 4 hours' pay for taking part in unprotected industrial action. Reporter Charlie Mills joins us now from Sydney. Charlie, good morning. So how are authorities preparing for these potential disruptions?
Well, Michael, what we're expecting to see is a build-up in the police presence here at New South Wales Parliament on Macquarie Street over the next few hours as they brace for that protest action, which is set to occur at about 11 a.m. this morning. Those members of the CFMEU set to be here at Parliament expressing their frustrations over the government's decision to appoint an administrator. New South Wales Police have confirmed they're aware of today's action and will have a high visibility presence and are monitoring the gathering accordingly. The actions that police take will be confirmed as we see what happens here today. In Melbourne, Victoria Police say they're also aware of that action and will have general duties police at the rally today. A spokesperson for Victoria Police said there also is a traffic management plan in place today from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m, and they're asking that people travelling through the area be patient and allow for extra travel time. This is a boiling point right now between the government and the embattled union. Earlier this month, the New South Wales Assistant Secretary, Michael Greenfeld, he stepped down sensationally after he was alleged to have engaged in corruption and bribery, and he said that was putting extreme pressure on him and his family. At that time, his father, the State Secretary, Darren Greenfeld, declined to step down despite calls on him to do so, but he was sacked last week by the administrators. Here in Sydney and right across the country as protests get underway in Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide, Brisbane, Cairns and in Canberra, people are being warned that they could be facing disruptions and to plan ahead.
Good advice. Charlie Mills in Sydney, thank you.
Several people have been seriously injured after a multi-vehicle crash which involved 2 ambulances in central Queensland. Our reporter Arianna Levy is following the story and joins us now. Ari, what do we know so far about what's happened here?
Good morning, Bridget. Well, there's still lots of details that are emerging from this crash as it unfolds, but what we do know is that emergency services were called out to a crash site at Jindoran on the Bruce Highway, which is near Granite Creek Forestry Road, just after 1:50 a.m. this morning to reports that a truck had crashed into a ditch off the highway. Now, police say that there has been low visibility in the area, and that's largely due to lingering smoke from a fire that's been burning since Sunday, as well as the combination of heavy fog. Now, due to that low visibility, this single truck crash then turned into a multi-vehicle pylon. Paramedics confirmed that 5 double B trucks were involved in the collision, including 2 of their own paramedic trucks that actually crashed into the original truck on their way to the crash site. So Queensland Fire Department have said that 3 people had been trapped inside each one of those trucks. They worked to free them with their hydraulic tools, and they were then taken to hospital, including a man in his 20s who suffered serious head and leg injuries, another man in his 20s who had leg, head and chest injuries, as well as a man in his 50s who's been taken to hospital in a serious life-threatening condition. Now, the ABC had spoken to one witness, a local tow truck driver, who says that this road, when he was driving along it, was quite concerning, that he could barely see anything, and that coming around the bend, he had to actually swerve to avoid the crash site.
And smoke, definitely, yeah, all the way from Childers. You had very minimal. When I come around the corner, I only just saw the hazard lights on the truck, and that's what made me swerve to go around him. And just a freak accident. So the truck was just trying to go off the road, and the ambos just hit him.
Now, motorists travelling along Miriam, Vale and Gingin on the Bruce Highway are being advised to plan ahead. There will be heavy traffic delays, not only due to the lingering smoke, but also due to this crash site. Now, it's affecting about a 100-kilometre stretch of the Bruce Highway, which is now closed in both directions. And authorities say, Bridget, that they're expecting the highway to remain closed throughout the rest of today.
Thanks a lot, Ari. We hope everyone is going to be okay.
Let's hope so. Let's go to other news now. The incoming Chief Minister for the Northern Territory, Leah Finocchiaro, has recommitted to her election promise of lowering the criminal age to 10. Northern Territory Federal Labor MP Marion Scrimgeour says she doesn't want young people in the prison system, but something does need to be done to address crime rates in the Territory.
United Nations aid operations in Gaza have stopped after Israel issued new evacuation orders where the UN Operations Centre is located, according to a senior UN official. The evacuation order came as the UN prepares to begin on Saturday to campaign to vaccinate an estimated 640,000 children in Gaza against polio.
Singapore Airlines is expected to be the first international airline to confirm flights to the new Western Sydney airport. The airport is slated to open in 2026. The Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Transport Minister Catherine King are tipped to confirm the deal later this morning.
A dispute has arisen between the Harris and Trump campaigns over whether microphones should be live throughout the upcoming US presidential debate. The Harris campaign wants both candidates' microphones to be live throughout the full broadcast, but Republicans are reported to want the microphones muted.
Two Sunshine Coast fishermen had the shock of their lives when a great white tried to take a chunk out of their boat. The shark circled the boat just off the coast of Mooloolaba, and skipper Jaden Gray said he had never experienced anything like it before. Take a look.
Whoa! 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 It just bit my boat! It just bit my boat!